In the warm, nice family living room, Julie Williams, Susan Seaforth Hayes, stands by the fireplace, her eyes tracing the familiar contours of old family photographs. The air is heavy with unresolved tension as Doug Williams, Bill Hayes, her estranged husband, steps through the door, his weathered face etched with both hope and remorse. Their marriage, once a cornerstone of Salem's legacy, has been strained by Doug's recent reckless decisions, including a theft that fractured Julie's trust. Today, however, Doug arrives not to argue but to make amends before leaving town, carrying a small velvet box that holds the key to their reconciliation. Julie, initially guarded, softens as Doug speaks from the heart. His voice trembles as he recounts their decades of love, from stolen glances at Horton Square to quiet evenings spent dreaming of a future together. He opens the box to reveal a delicate silver necklace, a cherished heirloom Julie thought she'd lost forever. Tears well in her eyes as she cradles the pendant, its intricate design a symbol of their shared history. "I couldn't leave without giving this back to you," Doug says, his sincerity piercing through Julie's defenses. She hesitates, then steps forward, embracing him in a moment that feels like a return to their younger, hopeful selves. The room, adorned with Horton family keepsakes, seems to hold its breath, bearing witness to a love that refuses to fade. Yet, unbeknownst to Julie, the necklace carries a darker truth. Doug's gesture, while genuine in its intent to heal, hides a secret that could unravel everything. The necklace, which he claims to have recovered, was not simply found. It was stolen from Gwen Rizek, Emily O'Brien, a calculated act to right a previous wrong. Years ago, Doug had taken the necklace from Julie in a moment of desperation, a betrayal that drove a wedge between them. Now, to restore what he broke, he's entangled himself in another deception, one that Gwen, with her sharp instincts, is unlikely to let slide. Tensions at the DiMera mansion across town. The opulent DiMera mansion buzzes with its own undercurrents of drama. Gwen Rizek, now flush with the Von Leuschner fortune, paces the marble-floored parlor, her mind racing. She's just discovered her prized necklace, the one she wore as a symbol of her newfound status, is missing. Her thoughts immediately turn to Doug, whose recent visit to the mansion felt suspiciously fleeting. Gwen's no stranger to betrayal, and her intuition tells her this loss is no accident. She summons Brady Black, Eric Martsolf, and his daughter Rachel, Alice Halsey, for a tense confrontation, hoping to uncover clues about the theft. The conversation is fraught, with Gwen's sharp questions met by Rachel's evasive answers and Brady's protective demeanor. Rachel, a precocious teenager with a knack for stirring trouble, toys with Gwen, dropping cryptic hints about seeing Doug near her jewelry case. Brady, sensing Gwen's rising anger, tries to defuse the situation, but Gwen's suspicions only deepen. She's not just upset about the necklace. It's a matter of pride. Having clawed her way to wealth and influence, Gwen refuses to be outmaneuvered, especially by someone like Doug, whom she views as a fading relic of Salem's old guard. As she vows to get to the bottom of the theft, Gwen's scheming mind begins to weave a plan, one that could have ripple effects across Salem's tangled web of relationships. Doug's departure and Julie's hopeful farewell back at the Horton house. The mood shifts to a tender, bittersweet farewell. Doug, packed and ready to leave Salem for a fresh start, stands at the threshold, his suitcase a symbol of both escape and uncertainty. Julie, still clutching the necklace, grapples with her emotions. She's torn between the pain of their past and the flicker of hope Doug's gesture has reignited. "You've always had a good heart, Doug," she says softly, her voice catching. "Don't let the world dim it." Her words are both a blessing and a plea, urging him to rediscover the man she fell in love with all those years ago. Doug, moved by her kindness, promises to carry her words with him. He speaks of his plans to travel, perhaps to revisit the places where they once laughed and dreamed together, like the old jazz club in Chicago where they danced under dim lights. Julie smiles at the memory, but her heart aches at the thought of his absence. As he steps out into the evening, the Salem sunset casting long shadows across the porch, Julie wonders if this goodbye is truly the end or merely a pause in their story. The necklace, now resting against her collarbone, feels like a fragile thread connecting her to Doug, even as he disappears into the distance. Gwen's hidden agenda and Salem's unraveling secrets. Meanwhile, Gwen's pursuit of the truth takes her to the Kiriakis' mansion, where she corners Gabby Hernandez, Camila Banis. In a heated exchange, Gabby, already on edge about her husband Stefan DiMera's Brandon Barish mysterious absence, is in no mood for Gwen's games. Gwen, however, relishes the opportunity to needle her rival, hinting at secrets about Stefan and her own husband, Dimitri, who's also vanished under curious circumstances. Maybe they're off somewhere together, plotting their next move. Gwen taunts, her smirk masking her own unease about Dimitri's whereabouts. Gabby, sharp and unyielding, presses Gwen for answers about her time in Germany, where she secured the von Leuschner fortune. Gwen remains cagey, deflecting with practiced ease, but her mind is elsewhere, on the missing necklace and Doug's possible role in its theft. She's determined to confront him, even if it means tracking him down beyond Salem's borders. Gwen's obsession with reclaiming her property isn't just about the necklace. It's about asserting her power in a town that's quick to underestimate her. As she schemes, the lines between revenge and justice blur, setting the stage for a confrontation that could expose Doug's deception and shake Julie's newfound peace. A town on the edge of revelation as Doug's departure leaves a void in Salem. Julie sits alone in the Horton living room, the necklace glinting in the lamplight. She's unaware of the storm brewing, one that ties her reconciliation with Doug to Gwen's relentless pursuit of the truth. The necklace, a symbol of love and betrayal, holds secrets that could unravel the fragile bonds holding Salem's residents together. Will Julie discover the true cost of Doug's gesture? Will Gwen's quest for retribution expose the cracks in Salem's carefully guarded facades? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. In Salem, no secret stays buried for long. In the days ahead, expect more twists as the residents of Salem grapple with love, loss, and the consequences of their choices. From the Horton house to the DiMera mansion, every corner of this town pulses with drama, and we can't wait to see what happens next. Exciting twists ahead in Days of Our Lives. Welcome back to the Days of Our Lives channel. Today we will dive into the thrilling spoilers for July 23rd and 24th, uncovering dramatic revelations and family tensions that keep Salem on edge. Hypnosis session sparks hope for justice in a bold move on July 24th. Attorney Belle Black escorts her client and brother-in-law E.J. DiMera to the home of her mother, renowned psychiatrist Marlena Evans. The goal is clear. Belle urges Marlena to perform a hypnosis session on E.J., aiming to unlock suppressed memories from the night he was mysteriously shot in his own mansion. E.J., ever the strategic DiMera, believes this psychological deep dive is the ultimate key to exonerating his son Johnny DiMera, who's facing serious charges in the attempted murder case. Adding layers to this family saga, E.J. has been grappling with fragmented flashbacks, including vague images of a shadowy figure lurking in the dim lights of the DiMera estate, which could tie into unresolved feuds from his past business dealings. As the session unfolds, viewers might witness E.J. reliving tense arguments that preceded the gunfire, potentially revealing overlooked clues like a misplaced family heirloom or an overheard whisper that points to the true culprit. However, complications arise if E.J.'s recollections implicate young Rachel Black in the incident, perhaps through an innocent but misguided act during one of her frequent visits to the mansion. Speculation swirls that Marlena, with her protective instincts as a grandmother, could choose to conceal such a bombshell to shield her vulnerable granddaughter from scandal. Instead, she might subtly guide E.J. toward alternative memories, like a heated exchange with a rival executive, allowing her to devise a clever workaround to prove Johnny's innocence without fracturing family bonds. This ethical dilemma adds a fresh twist, as Marlena balances her professional oath with her deep-seated loyalty to her loved ones, possibly consulting old case files from similar hypnosis triumphs in Salem's history to navigate the moral maze. Family fears and trial turmoil. Meanwhile, Mayor Paulina Price finds herself consumed by anxiety over her daughter Chanel Dupree's potential involvement in E.J.'s shooting, fueled by an incriminating video that surfaced showing Chanel in a heated confrontation near the crime scene. The footage, captured by a hidden security camera in the DiMera Gardens, depicts Chanel gesturing animatedly, which Paulina fears could be misinterpreted as motive amid the ongoing investigation. Compounding her worries is the impending trial of Johnny DiMera, Chanel's husband, where Paulina dreads the ripple effects on her family's reputation in Salem's tight-knit community. Steadfast husband Abe Carver steps up as the pillar of support, organizing quiet family gatherings at their home to rally everyone, including sharing stories of past triumphs over adversity to boost morale. Chanel herself remains a constant presence at Johnny's side, attending every pretrial hearing and whispering words of encouragement during breaks, while the extended family unites in solidarity. The trial promises high drama with a parade of witnesses, from DiMera household staff recounting unusual noises that night to expert forensic analysts debating bullet trajectories. Expect explosive courtroom moments, such as surprise testimonies from distant relatives or leaked documents that could shift suspicions toward overlooked suspects, keeping the audience guessing about hidden alliances and betrayals. Paulina's political savvy might even come into play, as she discreetly lobbies for fair proceedings behind the scenes, drawing on her connections to ensure justice prevails without destroying her daughter's future. Gwen's shocking discovery and tense encounters shifting to another corner of Salem. Gwen Rizek experiences a moment of utter disbelief on July 24th, her face paling as she realizes something precious has vanished from her possession. Could it be her cherished necklace, a sparkling piece inherited from her von Leuschner lineage, symbolizing her hard-won status and resilience after years of schemes and heartbreaks? The item, adorned with rare gems that catch the light like stars in Salem's night sky, holds sentimental value tied to her turbulent past relationships. This revelation leads to a charged confrontation at the opulent DiMera mansion, where Gwen crosses paths with Brady Black and his daughter Rachel in a conversation laced with suspicion and unspoken accusations. Brady, ever the protective father, probes Gwen about recent visitors to the estate, while Rachel's innocent chatter about shiny things heightens Gwen's paranoia that the child might be innocently involved in a playful mix-up. The tension escalates as Gwen recalls a recent family gathering where the necklace was last seen, perhaps dangling from her neck during a heated debate over DiMera Enterprises, now making her question if it was deliberately taken amid the chaos. Intriguingly, whispers suggest Doug Williams might make a daring attempt to pilfer the necklace himself, driven by a desire to present it as a peace offering to his estranged wife Julie Williams before departing Salem for a reconciliatory trip. Imagine Doug, with his sly charm honed from decades in town, slipping into the mansion under the guise of a friendly visit, his eyes fixed on the glittering prize as a symbol of redemption. Yet, Gwen's financial security from the vast von Leuschner fortune means she could easily replace it with an even more extravagant piece, perhaps commissioning a custom design featuring emeralds to match her fiery personality. This subplot weaves in themes of forgiveness and materialism, as Doug's potential theft could either mend bridges or ignite new feuds, leaving Julie torn between gratitude and ethical qualms. Wrapping up the drama as these storylines converge, Days of Our Lives promises a whirlwind of emotions, from hypnotic revelations to courtroom battles and stolen treasures, all set against the backdrop of Salem's enduring family dynamics. Stay tuned for more updates, as each episode peels back layers of mystery and intrigue.